Oh, hello. Welcome to my home. I'm just making some burger sliders here and fresh kale salad, and I thought to myself, hey, I haven't really made a speech informational video in a while, so today I'd like to talk to you guys about parent education and creating functional activities for therapy. I was thinking to myself about this one child I have. He's Artic and he's 5, and no matter what I do, and I do very play-based things regardless, but no matter what I do, he really fights it. And so today, I really went in, I didn't really have a plan, which is kind of like the worst thing you can do is go in without a plan, especially with these little young kids, because they really need structure. And I went in without a plan, and I had Play-Doh, and he just got a lot of different goals, and they're mostly at the phrase level. So here's an idea. Why not work at the phrase level? Okay, because, I mean, I have been working at the phrase level with him, but it's been a lot of prompting using apps and things. And suddenly, when we were doing a preferred activity, such as doing Play-Doh, and there's my cat, in which I was requesting him to produce phrases containing target sounds, such as give me the blue Play-Doh, which has an initial G or something like that, he was much more willing to be prompted to repeat a given phrase 3 to 5 times. Because it was something that was really motivating. And in that sense, it was functional because these are things he's going to say and use with playmates in the classroom. So, I think with Artic, we can really get stuck in doing a lot of the cutting out target words and gluing them, and that's good and well. If that's motivating for your child, like, go for it. But if you have a child that really, it's just a typical type of articulation session setup is just nothing seems to be working for them, try, like even for the older kids, try a play-based activity, and just anytime they say something with their target sound, attack it. Or if you see an opportunity for them to use a target sound in a phrase, use that. He was amazing today. So I think we really like to generalize or think about, I shouldn't say generalize, we actually like to think of functionality in terms of working on language goals or augmentative communication. And that's true, but I think we often forget the generalization aspect of articulation and how it's important to make sure that articulation is targeted in a way that is functional. So if you have a kid that's working on, like, for example, there's a great app called, it's called Articulation Station. And if you do articulation therapy in schools, real hard, anywhere, whoa, we got a fire going on over here. Or anywhere really, you might see this app, and it's an amazing app, but there are some target words that aren't really appropriate, like gazebo. My 3-year-old is not going to go walk around talking about gazebos. So, choose words, choose activities that are functional and relevant to the child's everyday life. Okay, moving on to parent education. I'm a big proponent for parent education. I work in home health, so I get to really talk to these parents every day and let them know how their child is doing. And talking about parent education in general, I think it's important to provide positive information before you provide not so positive information, and to frame it in the light of your child does this really well, but these are some areas that he still needs help with and that we're currently working on. And there are these kids that it almost seems like every time you see them, you notice something different or challenging for them that you didn't notice the previous session. And I think our tendency, or at least my tendency, is to tell the parent, oh, I noticed this today, I'm going to work on this too. And it just kind of hit me today, with some of these parents, they don't want to hear that one more thing is wrong with their child. If it is something that is significant and that you feel like by mentioning it to the parent, that they will be able to complete homework or carryover activities that will significantly impact this child's functional capabilities, by all means, share that information. In my example was the fact that this kid is just not stimulable for a CH sound. It's a very hard sound to make, and a lot of parents just don't have the training to even work on it. It's difficult for speech pathologists in general to work on that sound. So me telling that parent, besides all the language goals your child is working on, he also can't make this sound, which I never noticed before somehow. It was just kind of like the icing on top of the cake for her, probably. And it was something that I probably could have given a couple more sessions and then talked about how I had noticed it, but he'd made progress. So, when you're doing parent education, I just think it's important to kind of weigh the pros and cons of what is significant information and what the parent is really equipped to handle. because I'm the type of person who likes to give a million. I've got a million ideas for homework activities for any given goal at any given time. I don't know if you guys can see this. There are days when, you know, it's, especially if you're in home health and you see that child every day, there are some days where it's not, that parent has already been given an assignment that can be carried over into a week. You know, in my perfect world, I would have for the week a general carryover activity that the parent should be working on. To give them something every time you see them can be overwhelming, unless they're one of those parents that are crazy proactive and really want to be doing something different and new and they have the time. I would maybe stick to one carryover activity a week and make that the focus of the week, and put it on a piece of paper, write it on a notepad, tape it to the refrigerator, and see where that gets you. Because moral of the story here, big overarching thing, I think parents, we underestimate how overwhelmed parents can get. Because I know we get so overwhelmed with just the number of kids that we see and the different things we see going on with them. So parent education, think about that. Functional activities. So art projects are great, but think functional activities. And despite my know-it-all attitude here, I definitely don't know it all. Just a personal side note, I started my internship in the Spanish PBCB program last week, and it feels like my first semester of grad school all over again. So it's an interesting experience, and I feel straight out of college, and it's very unnerving. So there we all have our areas where we feel confident and not so confident. So there's just some things I've noticed, and I feel like they've been learning experiences. So if you guys have any comments about either of these topics, please reply to the video, or like or repost, and send me a message if you have anything to add. That would be awesome. So, or if you have ideas for anything you'd like me to talk about in the future, do that as well. All right, well, I gotta go eat my sliders. So you guys have a good night. All right, bye.